morning, USOBs. Hope you all starting this day out great, nice and sunny. So I just got a question for y'all. Did you all hear the story about Earl and Ethel going to the county fair? Every year, Earl and Ethel would head out to the county fair. And every year they'd walk around and they'd come by this booth which says airplane rides, $10. And every year, Earl would tell Ethel, says, I really want to take that airplane ride. And every year, Ethel would say, hey, you know that this season's been rough and money is tight and we just can't afford to spend money, frivolously like that. So every year, poor Earl never gets his airplane ride. So the one year they're walking by and Earl looks at Ethel and says, honey, says, I've been alive now on this planet for 76 years and I don't know how many more years I've got left. Says, I really want to take this airplane ride. And just like clockwork, Ethel goes, well, Earl, $10 is $10 and it's been a rough year. So Earl puts his head down and they start walking away, and just then he feels someone tap him on the shoulder and he looks and there's the pilot. And the pilot says, hey folks, I hope you don't mind, but I overheard your conversation. And I heard you really want to take this airplane ride, but money's a little tight right now. Earl goes, yeah, it's been a rough year, and as much as I'd like to, I just can't see, wasting $10 on something like this when we got bills we need to pay. Pilot goes, tell you what, I'll make you a deal. And Earl says, okay, what you got in mind? Says, I'll take you up in that airplane ride for free as long as you do not scream one time. If you scream one time, then you have to pay the full price. So Earl and Ethel talk it over and they both agree, and they're like, okay. Pilot loads him up in the plane and he takes off with a slow bank turn after he takes off, and he's like, okay, they did better than I thought. They didn't scream during the takeoff. That's good. So he does some nice lazy turns and climbs and dives, and not a peep. All of a sudden the pilot realizes, if I don't get them to scream, I'm going to be out this $20 for fuel money. So the pilot decides right then and there he's going to put on the most terrifying aerial stunt show that he's ever done. He's doing barrel rolls and loops and dives and dead man flips and whatever he could think of. He's throwing it all at him. Not a peep. So finally the pilot just says, okay, I give up. He goes ahead and he lands the plane, and he comes running up to Earl and he says, I can't believe it. You didn't scream not even once. That was the most terrifying aerial display, acrobatic display I've ever put on. I've never done something so scary in my life. Earl looks at the pilot and says, well, says, I almost said something when Ethel fell out of the plane, but $10 is $10. Hope you all enjoy.